All right, cool. Hello, hi everyone. Welcome to this whatever the fuck we're doing. It's nice that Xbox has finally graced us with its servers yet again after being down like 2 days ago when we originally wanted to do this. But it's okay. Everything's all fun and dandy now. Uh, we don't exactly know how the fuck we're gonna do this. We're just sort of free balling, shooting the shit, letting the balls hang low, if you know what I mean.
Oh my god.
And your boxer shorts. Those of you who don't have balls, think of your tits hanging out without bra on and your shirt. Same thing.
You really think they're gonna keep? Just keep doing you. Just keep doing you.
All right, but that's enough. That's enough small talk. Time to eat some ass. Let's just get right into this shit.
We're God. We're not really doing that. No one here is doing that.
I mean,
Okay,
what was my
Deandre, what are we talking about today? Shut up.
man? All right, man. I don't really know what we're gonna talk about, but I know first things first. It is Sunday. It is Sunday afternoon. Last night was Dragon Ball Super episode 129 to date this episode, I guess. And man, the levels of hype I have going into the final stages of this tournament of power are like through the roof right now. I I'm not one of these people that are, on the internet that are just like, this show sucks, what is going on, all these crazy power-ups, and everyone, I'm sure, everyone's got their complaints or whatever, but I think a lot of them are, justified, and I feel like a lot of them are biased, but, Dragon Ball's never really been a show, with great story or great character arcs.
It's not a show you look too deep into, honestly.
Yeah, you don't look too deep into Dragon Ball. Like, come on now, seriously. Like, and I get like a lot of the Dragon Ball fan base are, us 20 to 30-year-olds who grew up watching this shit on Toonami when we were coming up, and a lot of us, since Dragon Ball has been away, have a refined eye for anime, and not refined eye, but I guess an eye for anime now, coming off of, other series like Attack on Titan, or maybe those of us that still watch One Piece or
Don't forget
Fairy
about Naruto, man.
Naruto. Yeah, of course, Naruto. And, generally anything that really came on Toonami from like 2004 to like 2012, I think, when it went off the air. No, that's when it came back. Whenever, I think 2008 was when Toonami went off the air for a while. I can't really remember. But, people that look way too deep into Dragon Ball I feel like, are the people that are ruining the show. Not for me personally, but I feel like for a lot of people and for a lot of other people, because of the sheer, I get, there's a lot of ass pulling power-ups out of nowhere and a lot of things that aren't explained or just not explained well. But I mean, like, Dragon Ball is about fighting, and we're getting
It really just
awesome
is.
fights.
Like, it's about
We're getting
it's about showing off how much power you've gained through like training or other circumstances, and then just like you're not supposed to look into it for like some deep motives behind characters.
deeper meaning.
Yeah, like it's like watching a boxing match, except on a grander scale.
Now, one thing I could say that Super definitely has an edge over Dragon Ball Z is the fact that there are a lot more, I guess, details put into it that weren't in Z. Like, Z is just kind of, bad guy shows up, Goku and friends.
Goku and company.
Yeah, Goku and company win the day in the end, no matter what. That's kind of been for all 4 arcs of Dragon Ball.
It's pretty simple formula.
Yeah, with some various character arcs in there. Gohan, his moment with Cell, and his donning his father's gi when he went to go fight Buu in honor of his dad. It's pretty cool. Or Vegeta's turn from guy who came to
Guy from Planet Plunder
now. Yeah. Now
to Family Man.
Now now has a family. You know, wears a Batman pink polo jacket, or polo shirt, and rides trains at amusement parks with his kid. Vegeta's a family man now. I think we can all appreciate a bad guy who has seen the error. I guess not. I don't know if Vegeta's really seen the error of his ways, but it's still nice to the dude sacrificed himself, trying to save the earth.
Exactly.
And
come on, man.
even in this tournament of power, just like him trying to keep his promise to Kappa, like that same pride in him, really never went away. And I think like Vegeta is easily the best opinion.
In terms of
my
growth,
favorite, but like, oh yeah, like the dude, like I said, man, think about it. Like this dude, father of a king of an entire planet, whose like purpose is to like pillage and do battle with each other and fight. Pretty much, they're savages for the most part. And to see this guy go on a conquest of the universe to destroy other planets and take them under Frieza's rule, to turn that, do like a complete 180 to wanting to protect the planet, the very planet he was sent there to kill as a I don't know, I guess as an adult or whatever, an elite class warrior. you know and he had that moment in Super where he's like, man, like I have a promise to keep to Kaba and the other Saiyans in this other universe that I've never met before. But trying to protect him and or protect his universe. So Vegeta's really like pulling double duty in so far in this tournament. I mean, I guess he's eliminated now, but Vegeta really was pulling double duty for a majority of the tournament, and I think that's awesome. It really is.
Yeah, he's really come through a long way ever since like he got sent on the mission to go to Earth to like, whoa, Raditz got bodied. who, why?
Oh yeah, Raditz. By who?
By who? This who turns out to be it's his brother, and now he's like out here making speeches about saving the planet or saving the universe. Actually,
I know, it's crazy. Now, of course, I think everyone in the Dragon Ball fandom is in agreement, though, that the biggest disappointment in all of this is Gohan.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, we had a like. He was like, oh boy, we have him in the palm of our hands. This guy's gonna shine. This guy's gonna like break through his barrier. He's gonna like go all out like he did against Cell and then
yeah, he's gonna be the guy again.
Like get the power of the. He's gonna get the power of the gods or some shit. Oh man, Gohan was gonna be our boy. He was gonna be our fucking savior in all this.
Nope.
Then,
nope.
And then nah. And like even the moments he did have, I was like, yeah, Gohan, you're still the fucking man, but it's like
it's not compared to what you could have been.
He could have been so much more. Oh, and it's so heartbreaking. It really is just so heartbreaking.
Yeah, it really is.
Dude, like go from a child, you've seen him grow up, like he didn't want to fight, being forced to fight against Cell, almost getting his fucking head taken off, to saving the planet, becoming its savior, almost dying, getting his power unleashed to its full potential, getting taken off guard by Boo, coming back, becoming a scholar, following in his mom's footsteps, not really wanting to train, getting bodied by Frieza, then wants to train again, gets his power back, and shows that he has we all saw it, we're like, oh, that potential is coming back. That potential we all knew was there from when Guru mentioned it to him as a kid. Like, man, you got something inside you. And Super has come full circle with a lot of things from Z that are getting paid off now or referring back to again. And then that potential is yet again wasted.
Of course.
And it's super frustrating. It is really super frustrating. Get it? Super frustrating.
You're just on top of it today.
Full of these.
Just like there's no give to you today. Okay, so like wrapping up the series like as a whole, since it's coming to an end. Obviously, I think we both know how it's going to end. And
well, I've already explained to you how I think it's gonna end, but I don't think you ever explained to me how.
I'm pretty sure we agreed.
Which I assume is everybody. Oh, did we? That they're both gonna, Jiren and Goku are gonna knock each other out.
Something like that. Something along those lines. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I can see that. Or, they. No, I don't think they go down to a 2v1 or Goku and Jiren draw and then Goku and Frieza both get a wish. No, I don't think they do that, but yeah, I think they'll knock each other off. Frieza with his unconscious ass will win. And what do you think the wish will be, though?
Man, like, didn't he say he wants to be wished back to life? Isn't that what Frieza said?
Well, that's like a foregone conclusion, obviously. Is it just? Did they ever explain? Is it one wish or is it like three? Or
I don't know exactly. I think it's one wish. I think it's one wish.
Because if it's one wish, I think Frieza, as much as he would want to get wished back to life, I think he'd want to wish for either to be, his master plan all this time was to be immortal. So I think he'll either wish for that, which I don't know how that'd work if he's dead, or he'll want to be a god of destruction now that he's seen the power and all that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Frieza is a tyrant at heart, so I think he'll probably want that more than anything.
Yeah,
be a god of destruction.
But
somehow, but
I can see that happening too, but that's only if they really go that route that Frieza's gonna win, or like Goku wins. We all know he's just gonna wish every universe back to life.
Facts.
And then
one thing that I saw that someone said was like, if Goku ends up getting the wish, he'll wish all the other universes back, but he'll wish them into Universe 7, which I thought
does that even
was
work?
Pretty interesting. I don't think. Yeah, I was like that may not. Just like bring all the planets and star systems from that universe into ours.
Could they even?
I don't know. I was like, oh,
that's a lot of sciencey.
That's an interesting.
It's a lot of sciencey stuff, but like this show's never been good at logic, so.
That'd be interesting though, cause finally Vegeta could have a planet to go to chock full of Saiyans, and he wouldn't have to go to another universe for that'd be pretty tight actually.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
It's like it travels away.
Yeah.
I think that would be pretty cool.
Speaking of the Saiyans, I was thinking of like one of the many complaints a lot of people have of the show is how are the Universe 6 Saiyans turning Super Saiyan so easily, this thing in our universe that was a legend for so long, and it was only achieved like once every 1,000 years. Eventually I ended up becoming, as Vegeta said, a child's plaything by
bargain sale.
Goten were born. Yeah, that was the Kai dub, excuse me, get it fucking.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, I know what you mean. But yeah, Vegeta's like, yeah, this is a child's plaything. Is there a fucking Super Saiyan bargain basement sale? And then these Universe 6 Saiyans can, whittle it down to like a feeling you get in your back. Like, I can understand people being upset, but at the same time, I kind of think of it as like, well, the Universe 6 Saiyans never really they're not devolved as our Saiyans.
Yeah, they're advanced, right? Didn't they outgrow like their tails?
Yeah, they outgrew their tails. They didn't really have a need for violence. Like they're actually they're almost a completely different race than the Saiyans. They really just have the name and the power, and that's about it. But everything, there's nothing Saiyan-like about them from the Universe 7 Saiyans. So it would lead me to believe that because they are a more advanced race, that this power that was once a legend in our universe could be achieved much more easily. It just needed to be unlocked by one of them in their universe. So I don't have a problem with that, honestly.
I think it was more like they were upset by the words used to describe
Yeah, his
achieving,
explanation.
achieving the trend. But then again, they don't really fully understand it. So like, of course they're gonna
Yeah, they
treat it
don't
like,
understand
of
it
course they're gonna
themselves. Like,
treat
it's
it like
still it's a
children.
brand new power. But I don't know. Like I said, everyone has their complaints with the show. A lot of them, I guess, yes, are justified, and a lot of them have a lot of truth and backing to them. But that shouldn't stop you from enjoying what Dragon Ball is and all what was and always is will be at heart. Just a show about fighting the strongest and watching the strongest people fight it out. You know,
Yep. But
and
people like to look
that's
too
in a nutshell what
deep
Dragon
into
Ball
that.
will always be. And those are the people that I do not like to associate. I don't, I don't like my Dragon Ball to be tainted, you know?
No, I get it. Because like that's like one of your most memorable like TV shows.
Oh, yeah, of course. Every 90s kid watched that shit growing up, man. Or I say most 90s kids watched that growing up. And it's like if you didn't, you were kind of like, you kind of weren't not talked to, but you were like, oh, you don't watch Dragon Ball? What is wrong with you? Kind of.
Yeah, you were kind of alienated,
It's almost like taboo if you didn't. It was taboo if you didn't watch Dragon Ball back in the day.
or at least not know about it. You know.
Yeah, and then growing up, of course, anime. Then anime became the taboo thing to like. Growing up in middle school and high school.
Yeah, but now
Everyone
it's starting
thought,
to it's starting to be the thing.
I know now it's on the rise again, and it's like, oh, you watch anime? Fuck yeah, dude. Fuck do you watch, man? Shit. Everyone's cosplaying, everyone's going to conventions, black people are into this shit. It's fucking crazy, dude.
It's becoming way more acceptable than it was back then.
Like, dude, I met a black dude yesterday who had a fucking Ambu Black Ops tattoo. I was like, damn, dude, I fucking love you. But yeah, I fucking love me some Dragon Ball, and I always fucking will. One of these days, I'm gonna give me a Dragon Ball tattoo.
I think we both are.
Or when. Yeah.
Cause like.
Now, speaking of, I'm sorry.
No, cause like I'm pretty sure it was just as much as a part of your growing up as it was for me too. It's just that you can remember stuff.
Oh yeah.
Way better than I can. I just remember like the gist.
And not only was it a part of me growing up, like I have all the Blu-rays.
Yeah, you
I have all the movies. Any of them
collect all that.
Right too. I just need to work on that. And I got posters abound and shit. Like yeah, Dragon Ball is like that shit was my life for a long ass time.
It still is. It's still a huge part of it.
Yeah. Now that it's back and in full force, man, that fire got lit again.
Yep. He dusted off the old the old lantern and just like replaced the wick, and then that's it.
Hell yeah! And let's go for it. Let's move on. Let's keep going with this shit. Now speaking of shows that you want to see people, the strongest people fighting it out in pitched combat. I don't, as much as I don't want to talk about
what,
but I feel like I have to. John Cena challenging the Undertaker to a WrestleMania match.
Okay, so
God.
get me up to speed. Is it really happening? Because I don't watch anymore.
So getting you up to speed, it's not official yet. There's really like even the dirt sheets say that like nothing really is official yet, even though we all know this is going to happen because it's John Cena and the fucking Undertaker, and Vince loves the Undertaker
and John Cena.
Get it, man? I am
God.
just on a fucking roll today. But anyway, so the storyline going into this is John Cena doesn't have a WrestleMania match. His road to WrestleMania is over. He didn't win the Rumble. He lost the Elimination Chamber. Oh, I don't have a match for WrestleMania. I'm John Cena. Like, does anybody really believe that John fucking Cena, the dude who's wrestled at every WrestleMania since WrestleMania 20 when he won the United States Championship from Big Show, do we honestly believe that this fucking guy who's wrestled at every WrestleMania since 2004 isn't going to have a WrestleMania match? Are we really going to sit here and believe that the guy who has been the face of his company since 2005 is not going to have a WrestleMania match? Give me a fucking break, man. Give me a fucking break. This guy is going to wrestle The Undertaker.
You don't sound very
And if it's not
convinced.
The Undertaker, it's going to be someone. Oh, I'm sorry if that wasn't convincing enough for you. And don't get me wrong, like I like John Cena. I just don't like him anymore. I think he's gone very stale. His character, I'm over it. You know, it appeals to kids. And I understand that. I don't have a problem with that. I think he's a fine wrestler. I don't think he's a great wrestler by any means. You know, especially when you're on a roster with AJ Styles and Kevin.
Yeah, it's not really fair to make comparisons like that.
Yeah, you know, there were far better wrestlers on that roster than John Cena. Like, John Cena is a good wrestler. He's by no means a bad wrestler, but he's just a good wrestler in my opinion. But anyway, and as good as a wrestler as he is, I don't want to see him wrestle Undertaker. This match would have been great. Like,
oh yeah, this match would have been the match of the decade a decade ago.
Dude, hell yeah, match of the century if anything. Like, fuck, this match would have had like all the hype around it and everything. But the fact that Undertaker at this point is now, I think, 55 or 54
Oh my god.
years old, and his last like 3 WrestleMania matches have been utter shit. And especially his Roman Reigns match, like where he just looked like an old man. He didn't look.
He looked vulnerable.
That was just an old man in the ring. And it's not like Undertaker has anything left to prove. Like, Undertaker is probably like the most respected wrestler like to ever walk the halls of WWE.
Oh, heck yeah, he's he's like the standard of excellence when it comes to working there.
Yeah. Like, that's a guy who has given his entire life to the business and then some. You know, he's given his life. You know, he's played that character to perfection for almost 30 years. Almost 30 years. We're not going to talk about, you know, Big Evil, but that's besides the point.
I enjoyed Big Evil.
But, I mean, yeah, but you were a kid.
That's true, yeah.
So, of course, you enjoyed it.
That's true, yeah.
And I don't want to see Undertaker with his fucking bad hips, his bad knees, his bad joints.
His dad bod.
His dad bod, oh my, and his dyed jet black hair.
Oh.
I don't want to see Undertaker wrestle anymore. I thought he should have retired with the streak undefeated. And if that weren't the case, I would have been much happier with him losing at WrestleMania 30 to Bork, and him never wrestling another match ever again. Honestly, I would have been, and I think a lot of people would have been happy with that. And then let's say that wasn't the case, I would have been much happier with him wrestling Roman Reigns last year at 33, and him, you know, dropping his gear in the ring like we all saw, descending into the depths of the abyss, or, you know, the entrance ramp, as some of you might know, and, you know, never to be seen again. I would have been much happier with that, because that moment of him, you know, breathing that big ass sigh in the ring was like, damn, dude, like, this could be
yeah,
good.
like he really has his body is failing him at this point.
Yeah, like it's like, man, I get the man, he must make some good money, but at the same time, it's like, you've made good money for the you literally carried SmackDown on your back for like a decade, and you have nothing left to prove. We already in fame. I'm sure you'll get a Legends contract, which means you'll get money for the rest of your life for doing absolutely nothing. He's gonna sell merch, like, no matter.
Oh yeah, especially if they release, like, you know, like, Remember the Undertaker kind of gear.
Yeah, you know, like all the DVDs they could sell, you know. Oh man, think of the Undertaker DVD that'll come out when he's done, man.
Oh, it just highlights his greatest matches? Yeah, of course.
Yeah, like, Undertaker, honestly, has done it all. He doesn't have anything left to prove. But I mean, more power to him if he wants to go out there. But at the same time, there are a lot of people that just, at this point, they think it's sad because he can't put on great matches anymore.
He's like physically unable to.
For like 5 minutes.
Physically unable to do that.
Yeah, and it really is just sad to watch this dude we all saw growing up. You know, the dead man, the phenom, and then now he's just a shell of his former self. You know, it's not kind of, it is just
really sad.
Sad.
Just really sad.
It's a little uncomfortable sometimes to see him even like don the Undertaker gear, even and just like walk to the ring. It's like, ugh.
Because his body looks like it's ready to collapse.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I can't. Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna watch that fucking match. I'm gonna watch WrestleMania.
Yeah, of course. We're gonna watch WrestleMania, but like we're not gonna be going into it like excited. We're gonna be going into it concerned. It's like, okay, how is this gonna go? Yeah, it's like, oh. Okay, so let's say Cena Taker does happen. We're gonna be thinking the whole time like, okay, how is John Cena gonna carry this match?
Yeah, it's like, how is John Cena gonna put this man on his shoulders, figuratively and literally, and just carry this to a great match or a good or hopefully.
Unless it's like a psychological match.
I don't know if for great. Yeah,
but that doesn't usually work, does it?
No, I don't know, because the Undertaker character doesn't really mean what it once did.
Ever since he
back
lost.
in the day, you know. Yeah, so he's just, like I said, you know, Undertaker's just kind of there now. It's just, I don't know.
I don't know how it's gonna. Who could? Okay, so if it's not Undertaker, then who could they make John Cena feud with in time for WrestleMania? Unless they just stick him into a championship match.
No, they're not gonna stick. Their championship matches, I think, for the most part, are set. There's some still championship left to be decided, but they're both world titles are set. AJ Styles versus Nakamura, which is gonna tear the fucking house.
Oh
down.
Yeah.
That better be the last. That better be the last match of the fucking night. Because I swear to God, if it's not, boy, Twitter's gonna have.
I'm like fairly confident that's gonna be the match of the night.
Nah, that's gonna be match of the night, but I don't think it's going on last because we have Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns for the United States title, and if I know Vince as well as I
wait, the what?
That match is going on last because Roman
the what title?
Wait, because what?
The what title?
The Universal title.
Oh, okay. Okay.
What did I say?
I heard United States, but I'm tripping.
Oh, I'm thinking about. If I said that, I was thinking about Bobby.
Okay.
I don't think he has a match set yet. The IC title is going to be defended, from what I hear, in a triple threat. I can't remember against who. But from what I hear, they might be turning that into a 5-way with Miz, I think Finn Balor, Elias, Braun Strowman, and someone else. I can't remember off the top of my head. Which, I mean, I'm glad that the IC title is being defended, but I don't want it to be defended in a 5-way because WWE of late has had a hard-on, and I mean a fucking raging hard-on for multi-person matches.
As of recent?
Like every week on Raw. Yeah, dude. Like every like for the past like year and a half or so, like every Raw or SmackDown will have like a 6-woman tag, a 6-person tag, or a 6-pack challenge, a fatal 5-way, a 7-man. Whatever, like it's multi-people matches just to get a lot of people airtime on TV, and it's very noticeable because a lot of these matches don't really have a reason to exist other than the fact that, hey, we have all this talent, let's just use them, you know?
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, like the crop of talent that WWE has right now is the best it's ever been, like ever. And that's without a doubt. They have so much talent, even if you count NXT, they have so much talent on those rosters that they don't know what to do with. So
they just don't have the writing prowess, huh?
Yeah, and the thing is, they have too many writers, and just not enough good ideas are going around for a lot of these guys and girls. So a lot of people are, you know, just they just get lost in the shuffle. But that's a whole nother discussion that we could go into. But
Not
but
this.
getting back to WrestleMania, those two championship matches, or the three, Asuka still hasn't chosen who she wants to face at Mania for her title, but a lot of people are betting on Charlotte.
Oh no,
That probably end up being the better match.
not Charlotte.
Charlotte. Oh, Charlotte. Woo! But yeah, so far those are like the only WrestleMania matches confirmed right now. Obviously we're still on the road to WrestleMania, so, and it's March now, so we have a little bit over a month till WrestleMania, so we're kind of getting down to it, because WrestleMania will be here before you blink and it'll be here, so we'll see how this goes.
Are you nervous? You sound
I'm not
nervous.
gonna lie, though. I'm a little bit nervous, but then again, I was nervous going into WrestleMania 31, the one that had at Levi's.
Yeah, but that one turned out pretty well for
I
you.
was nervous about that. It was a fucking great WrestleMania, and a lot of people had the same opinion as me. There was like no hype around WrestleMania 31. Everyone thought it was gonna be a shit show. A lot of the matches weren't looking that great on paper. But man, what they turned that show into was fucking fantastic, and I give them a lot of credit for it. I can't say the same for WrestleMania 32, which was an absolute fucking bore. but hopefully, hey, even if the hype for this isn't as, as much as it should be, or as hype as it should be, I'm still gonna give them the benefit of the doubt, because WrestleMania 31 turned out to be a great show, despite it having very lackluster hype all around. So I mean, I'm gonna wait and see. Now, what I do have a lot of hype for is the storyline between Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. I know, shocking, me giving Roman Reigns.
Yeah, like I was like, really just like shook my head, like, wait, what? Did I just hear that? Was I hearing that correctly?
I know, right?
You absolutely
Now,
hate this man.
Now hear me out.
Okay.
The storyline they're building for this, I think, is great. They're doing this storyline of Brock is the champ who's never here and who doesn't care about.
Oh.
He doesn't care about.
Oh, okay. I think I seen part of. I saw the. What's it called? The shoot.
Yeah. That shoot promo that Roman Reigns.
Yeah. I think I saw that.
He's like, I grew up in this business. I know there's a fine line. I know there's a line between business and something else. I forgot what else he said. Business and respect. And he's like, I damn sure don't respect Brock Lesnar. He doesn't care. I'm here every week busting my ass. And a lot of people have cut the same promos, Brock or whatever. But yeah, that's the storyline they're going with this. He's the part-timer who's the champ who doesn't care, who's just here for the money. And I'm the guy who's here every week giving you guys, great matches and whatnot. And it's like, you know what? If they run with this and they do this right, I could actually be behind Roman Reigns for one. Like organically behind Roman Reigns, not just like, being force-fed Roman Reigns, because that's the type of like John Cena stuff that none of us like. Let's just share this guy. You want this guy to be the face of the company, but you're not doing it organically. You're just putting him on TV, having him win every week, having him win all these big matches, but none of us really care. But if they're doing it in a way that, okay, I do actually care about
Yeah,
this,
I see what you're saying.
It's actually fucking
Yeah,
great.
I see what you're saying. Like, wait, does Brock really not care about the company? He just cares about the money?
No, that's just storyline.
Oh, okay.
With. And a lot of people are also speculating that he could be, preserving his body for a potential UFC return yet again. So, there's also that.
Okay.
So. But knowing Brock, he probably doesn't care. He fucking 2 nights ago he wrestled a 30-second match in Chicago against Kane. Like, he probably doesn't care at this point. Granted, people are furious, but at the same time, that 30-second match he had with Kane at a house show is just playing up the storyline of Brock is just here for the money and doesn't care. So, but like I said, they're building this in such a way that, you know what, I could actually give a goddamn about this match and the storyline. I could actually cheer Roman Reigns for once in my fucking life, that will post Shield breakup, I should say.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I'm like, okay, it's been a long time since I've said anything great about creative story writing with really anyone in that fucking company. But I think they're doing great work with this so far. It's early. It's only been like 2 weeks or a week, I should say. It, I'm very interested. They have me strapped in. They have me
They have your
they have
interest
me
peaked.
hmm So I say, hey, good on them. They are doing their jobs well.
I feel it, cause like this is very different from your your fresh reaction from the Elimination Chamber win. Like, oh, why do I
Oh
watch
my
this?
god.
Why do I give these people my money? Just like all these
Yeah.
negative things. Just like, oh, Roman Reigns again. Oh no. Boo
Yeah.
hoo, boo hoo.
And he gets those are John Cena type reactions. Cena wins, LOL, and Super Cena does it again. But hey, they're doing a great job with this so far. Hopefully they don't squander this opportunity to get Roman Reigns some much needed cheers that they've been trying to get for years. So we'll see. We'll see.
I guess we will. But wait, is there one more pay per view before Mania?
Yeah, there's one more pay per view. Fastlane. Fastlane is usually ever since they've started having these have been nothing to write home about.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, I wouldn't really put too much stock into Fastlane at all.
Okay. Because like I only really
Yeah, I
watch
don't
the
think
pay
that
per views if you ask me
gonna
to
happen.
watch with you. So I mean,
And plus, and besides, you have my network
that's
now
true. Yeah.
for the low cost of absolutely nothing. You're welcome. So you can watch these pay per views even if I don't ask you to watch.
I think I would only watch them if you told me that it's worth watching, and only the ones that you told me to like that are worth watching at all, like the matches that are worth watching or the promos. Other than that, I would probably skip over it. But the one I absolutely will watch, like, is of course Mania, the Rumble, and like,
Of course, the big four
yeah,
or the big ones, Money in the Bank.
yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Very, very interesting time in the WWE. Speaking of other sports that are in some very, and I mean very interesting times, segue. Let's
What are we talking about now?
let's talk about let's talk about the NBA season so far. Cause boy, what a season it has been. Not just for my team and yours, but for the NBA as a whole.
Why? I thought you
So
said this
many,
season was boring.
so many. I mean, I said that in the beginning only because I thought we're gonna get Warriors Cavs.
No, it's very different actually.
Yeah, now it's a whole nother
And
ballgame
new
right
teams
now.
have entered the mix.
I feel like the Rockets could honestly do well, maybe not do it, but I feel like they could take out the Warriors.
If anything, they have the biggest chance of like shocking
Yeah,
everybody. Like, oh no, it's not gonna be Warriors and Cavs again. It's gonna be a new team in the mix. Like,
yeah. Hopefully, Harden doesn't disappear on us again.
I know that's the only thing
Playoffs.
I'm not rooting for the Rockets. I just like I want to see
I am.
good teams be good. Like because like the problem with the
No, I'm
Rockets
not rooting for the.
is they they like they're really good at scoring the ball, but they're not that good at like defending it. Like they are actually like not that good, especially when it comes to like very dire possessions, like very do or die possessions that
Oh
make or
yeah,
break a
like
ball
key
game.
moments.
Yeah, like on the defensive end, like it's very 50-50 when it comes to them. Like it's not like the Warriors are like, oh, you expect this kind of stuff to happen because they have all these great players on the same team and like they know how they play. It's been the same system they've played in for like 3 years or whatever.
Right.
And it's just like, you expect them to be good, so you're not really shocked by it. But when a team like the Rockets does it, it's actually something to watch. And it's not just the Rockets too. Like I'm I feel like I know that the Cavs are going to come out the East, but
Oh yeah.
I don't think it's going to be an easy road this time.
Boston, man.
Like I really, this is probably the season that has me convinced that okay, the Cavs aren't going to have an easy trip to the finals again.
Yeah, that's true.
But what has you so livid about this season?
There are a number of things. The one I'm sure you know has me the most perturbed, I'll say for last.
Okay.
But I think one of the more interesting storylines coming out of this season is what the fuck happened to Markelle Fultz, man?
You're talking about his shooting form?
Like, did he get injured, or did he like? Because I know like it was like he went on a trip or something, and then he came back, and then all of a sudden he couldn't shoot. Like, did he get injured?
I think it was something in his shoulder. Like something about I can't remember off the top of my head. I'd have to look it up. But like something happened to his shoulder, right? And he just hasn't been able to like shoot right with it since, whether that be jump shots or free throws. And I think that's where his very terrible form like comes from. Is just from that shoulder problem. And I guess like going into the season, he decided, or the team decided as a whole, like, oh, he'll be fine, like he'll work through it. But like I guess it bothered him more and more, and then they just decided to shut him down for the rest of the season. I guess that's what happened.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, the dude was like a stud in college, and he did good in the NBA for a little bit the time he was there.
Yeah, he's a solid rookie with like good potential. You expect him. He came out of college, I think, as a 20+ scorer. Just like you expect him to be good. He's a scoring point guard. You know what to expect out of a scoring point guard. Like we've seen so many of them now,
Yeah.
so like you know what to expect. And then all of a sudden he kind of like drops off, and then so there's something wrong with his shoulder apparently. And you're like, what? You tell us this now, and he's always had it.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like that's like the weirdest thing this entire season that's happened that I can think of, because he could shoot, comes into the NBA, a few games later, now he can't.
Yeah, I don't. I'm trying to look up right now exactly what's wrong with his shoulder, because I've read multiple things like it's something wrong with his rotator cuff, or like it's something wrong with like the joint entirely, or like some other stuff.
Yeah, those joints will get you.
Yeah, I've heard multiple things, but like I don't exactly remember the exact classification of injury that they gave him. Let's see.
Okay.
Let's see. He shot it pretty well in college. Yeah?
Well,
what did you want to?
While you're doing that, fuck, I can't take this anymore. I'm gonna talk about the fucking Grizzlies.
Okay.
Cause man, what a sad state of affairs the Memphis Grizzlies organization is in right now.
You're telling me.
Dude, I'm so upset. I'm so upset.
Okay.
We went from being an 8 seed from a team that made the playoffs 7 years straight, pretty easily, mind you, except for 2 seasons ago where we had D-Leaguers on our team. Besides that season, we went from a team that made the playoffs for the last year 7 years straight, pretty easily, to being officially the worst team in the NBA as of last night.
What happened last night?
We lost to the Magic.
Oh, that sucks.
The worst team in the East.
That
and there are a number of things I could go on about this organization, from the GM not knowing how to fucking draft, from the constant injuries that plague all of our players, to not trading Tyreek Evans at the deadline, That's the biggest thing
That's
I
the
just
one that
did.
got you.
Tyreek
That's
Evans.
the one that got you riled up.
Tyreek Evans is easily the best player on our team, which is crazy because he's on a 1 year fucking contract, which means we're not going to be able to re-sign him because we don't have any cap space because of that mega contract we gave Mike Conley, which I'm not mad about at all, but also that fucking contract we gave to Chandler Parsons, the $90 million man who was collecting a disability check from us, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh my god. But we didn't trade Tyreek Evans. He's gonna be gone next year. We all know it. We have a bunch of young players who aren't that good. And the ones that are good aren't good enough. Mark is only one player. Mark can only do so much. A lot of our young guys have a lot of shine here and there, but it's not consistent enough to win us games. And I mean, at this point, I'm all for tanking. I'm all for getting that #1 pick. You feel me? I don't really care at this point. I'm all for getting that #1 pick, man. Like, fuck. It's super sad to watch us this season because we can't play 4 quarters. They can't play 4 quarters, and it's sad. They will play games. They will start out so super hot, they'll be neck and neck of teams all the way up until the half, and then the third quarter happens, and it just goes to shit. And then the fourth quarter happens, and they make a little rally, they make a little comeback happen. It looks like it's gonna be a game down to the wire, and then they lose by 15.
These
I don't.
are very, very sad stories for an NBA team.
Dude, I really wish that we were good. I really do. I want, and this is a team that in the beginning of the season had a better record than any analyst would give them credit for. They literally at one point were like the second or third best record in the entire league. They beat the Rockets and the Warriors in the same week. There aren't many teams in the NBA now that can say they did that this season, but the Grizzlies are one of those teams that say they can, and that's the worst team in the NBA at the moment. But in the beginning of the season, it was a completely different story. They were balling, man. We had Mike Conley, we had Tyreek Evans, we had Marc Gasol. We had the trio right there, man.
Yeah, I think the Mike Conley injury was just a nail in the coffin, honestly.
Yeah, Mike getting injured was like that was
like the last leg.
It was like we saw our season go up in flames right there, and it really was just sad. It honestly was just sad. And it's hard to watch. I don't even watch the games anymore. Even the games that I know we can win, because even those they lose. And they lose. It's like they don't even want to play anymore. They just want to move on to the next season. It's so hard, man. And I had high hopes for the season. Like, damn, dude, we're gonna make the playoffs hella easy. But then I look at where they're at now, and it's not good.
You can also credit like their abysmal season to also giving up key players away, like Tony Allen. Basically.
And Tebow and
yeah, like they. If anything, Tony Allen, I'm sure you know this already. You believe this too. Like, he's the guy that put in the grit and grind culture. He was like the heart and soul of the team.
Right there. That's what we call him.
It's like
we call that man the grind father.
And then he gets sent off, and all you're left with is just I guess you could say like the 2-star players of the team.
A bunch of young guys that can't really play that well.
Okay, who is the worst player on the team?
This season, the worst player on our team?
Yes.
Oh, Andrew Harrison, easily.
Is he Are you talking about just straight numbers? Okay, no, I know you have a deep hatred that's rooted. I don't know where it comes from, but like for Andrew Harrison.
The man can't dribble. The man has cost us games. I'm sorry. Anyway, but yeah, it's the worst player on our team. Okay, here's the thing though. I can't really give you an answer. I mean, I can, but I can't really give you an answer because the Grizzlies are an organization that really that actually they actually use their G League counterpart for
Uh
players.
huh.
And not a lot of other teams do that. Or maybe they do, I just don't see it happen a lot. But seeing as though I'm firmly in the Grizz culture at the moment, they use their G League team a lot. They will constantly call up and call down players, and it's usually the same like two or three players. So it's not like a new player every time that gets called up and called down. But they will constantly call up and call down players just to get them, playing time when they're not, when if the Grizzlies have a day off or something, they'll send them down to the G League. And the thing is, their G League is literally like a 10-minute drive away. It's like a 10-minute drive away from Memphis. They play in a place called South Haven, Mississippi, which I know very well because Memphis is literally like right next to that city. It's like a short drive away. It's not even far, so it's not like they have to go very far to play for their G League team,
Mhm.
which it's fine. If you get called up or called down, it's like I don't gotta go anywhere. Just make a short drive to the arena and boom, you're good. But anyway, they constantly use their G League as a way to develop their players for I guess for the NBA and to get them playing time and get them NBA ready. And I don't know if that's a system that really works. And it's a system that I say it doesn't work because we've all seen where the Grizzlies have ended up in the playoffs the past few years. We first round exits, second round exits, getting swept in the Western Conference Finals to the Spurs, uh, narrowly beating teams in close games, narrowly winning series that we probably should have lost. And all the credit to them for winning those games and those series too. That's just a testament to their culture, their fortitude, their grit and grind. But at the same time, we shouldn't be putting our stock in G League players. We should be putting our stock in young and budding talent out of college. And that's another thing I think the Grizzlies doesn't really do well is develop their own talent. They will constantly draft these players, give them a year or two, and then if they don't produce, then it's like, all right, so long, see you later. Like really, the last rookie that I think the Grizzlies really took a chance on, or the last two rookies I think really took a chance on, are Mike Conley and OJ Mayo coming out of college.
Jeez.
You could say the same thing for Marc Gasol, but Mark came from overseas, so I guess he doesn't really count. Plus, we got him from a trade for his brother, so there's also that.
Mhm.
But Mike Conley and OJ Mayo are really like the last two rookies that the Grizzlies have really like given the shine to, have really as to put it in wrestling terms, given the push, the main event push.
Mhm.
This guy we have on our team, Dylan Brooks, we drafted second round last season, is actually like pretty good, and I really hope he sticks around for a couple seasons because I would like to see him grow into a star player on that team because Lord knows we need one at this point. But um, Kyle Lowry got drafted by the Grizzlies, played I think a season or two, and went to the Raptors and is now one of the best point guards in the entire league. That could have been us, dude. Think about that for a second. That could have been us. He could be playing for right now, but no. And I mean, I'm happy for him. He has his own team and whatnot to lead, but he was on the Grizzlies. We had that dude in the palm of our hands. And then we let him go, and now he's a star. And now he's a star, man.
Star for a different
And Mike
team.
Conley, don't get me wrong. Yeah, and Mike Conley's a star in and of himself, and he's constantly talked about like the most underrated point guards in the league. Everyone pretty much agrees on that. But man, we could have had dual stars, man. Kyle Lowry and Mike Conley. If we had just let Kyle Lowry develop, I feel like Kyle Lowry could have done gangbusters for us, man. Like really. Who else? And we also just have a tendency to get rid of players that are good for us, like Maurice Spates. Maurice Spates is good. When he was on the Grizzlies, he was good, and then when he went to Warriors, that dude he got better. And I'm like, we got rid of Maurice Space, and I was just like,
Why?
the dude,
Why?
the dude is solid. The dude is a solid backup. He really is. And same thing with like Wayne Ellington. Wayne Ellington is
Oh
great.
yeah, Wayne Ellington is
We
doing
got rid of
good.
him.
He's on the Heat now, and he's
Like,
doing good.
yeah, he's doing great. And we got rid of him. We got rid of Troy Daniels, our 3-point sniper. Oh, that was such a heartbreaker, man. We got rid of our best 3-pointer on our team. He went to the Suns. I don't know if he's doing great over there. I haven't exactly kept up with him, but we got rid of Troy Daniels. We got rid of a bunch of people over the past couple years that went to other teams and are like actually doing kind of well. Um, Hashim Thabit was always trash. I'm sorry.
Don't apologize. I agree with you.
Yeah, yeah, I know. But yeah, there's that's just to name a few players that even OJ Mayo when he left the team, he was still doing pretty good. Again, I guess his contract was up. He just want to go somewhere else. But
Did he go to the Bucks
yeah,
after, or
like
did he go to the Mavs?
yeah, I think he went to the Mavs, then the Bucks, and then that was it for him.
But I remember when he was on the Grizzlies, he was something to be talked about. I mean,
Yeah,
he was overhyped.
Rookie of the year.
He was overhyped, but that doesn't mean he
Yeah,
still
no,
wasn't
no,
good.
He was a solid ass player. The dude almost won Rookie of the Year, but I think didn't he lose it to like D Rose or something, or was that earlier?
Dang, was that long ago?
Later? I don't remember. I don't remember. I don't know if they were in the same class together.
I actually can't recall. Okay, so back on the topic. Who is the worst player that's not a D League or sorry, G League player on the roster?
It's not a G League player. That's hard because like most of our bench is G League players.
Is it Andrew Harrison, Deandre?
Let me look at the roster real quick because I need to see real quick because we played last night. I need to look at the roster real quick just so I can have a list of players to look at and not think about it so hard. Mario Chalmers is good. Jerome Martin's okay. Dylan Brooks is pretty good. Jermichael Green, I can take her or leave it, but I think he's pretty good. Ben McLemore is actually trash.
I forgot he was on that team. Oh man.
Yeah.
Really? He hasn't done anything?
No, he dropped 20 last night. That's like the only thing he's done as of late. He's been injured for like 90% of the season too. So, Chandler Parsons, easily.
For the money that he gets paid compared to what he's producing?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the money to production ratio is just not there. His knees are still giving him problems. Dude dropped 4 points last night. I'm like, are you fucking serious, dude? I think the most points he's dropped this season in a game was like 8, and I'm not even joking.
Wait, no, it can't be. It can't be 8.
I think I'm.
There's no way he hasn't had a double-digit game this entire season.
Ace, I'm serious. I could be wrong. I could be, and I really hope I am. But that just.
Man. Well, he doesn't. Doesn't he?
I know.
Doesn't he? Didn't he turn his back on the city because they booed him or whatever?
And we had every right to boo him. The dude sucks.
But yeah, but isn't that what he did though? He turned his back on the city and just like decided that he's just gonna play for the money.
I don't really know like the story behind that or whatever. That's what I hear. You know, I hear that a lot, which would lead me to believe that. Honestly, I don't really, you know, I could see that being a possibility. Honestly, I really could.
Well, I get it. For the amount of money that he gets paid compared to what he's actually producing, yeah, I can see how he's the worst player on the roster.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like you tell me all the time, like Andrew Harrison, not that good. But he's not getting paid the money that Parsons is.
And I say that, but man, Andrew Harrison like can drop like 20-point games. Like he does it a lot, especially seeing though he has to play behind Mike Conley, and especially now that he's in the starting lineup. Of course, he's gonna have more minutes, so I guess his points are gonna go up. But I mean, Like, there is room for improvement with Andrew Harrison. I just don't think it's there yet. I just think he just needs to get more consistent and just get a learn how to get handles. You know?
Get a feel for the
He
game.
can't dribble the ball worth a damn. Yeah.
He's young, right?
Yeah, he's a young dude.
Okay, I'm pretty sure that he can flourish into an acceptable guard. He's a guard, right?
Yeah, he's a point guard. How old is he? He plays 1 and 2 though. Well, at least for us, he does. He is. I'm trying to say how old he is. 23. I knew it.
Okay, so he's still relatively young.
Yeah, he's 23. Yeah.
So that means like there's room for improvement. He could be much worse, honestly.
He could definitely be more.
But yeah, I can agree with you. Now that you brought up the money to production argument, yeah, he could be the worst player on the roster. Just because he produces.
At least when Mike was playing, that dude was dropping like 20 a game, at least 20, 25 a game. So it's like, yeah, good on you, man. You do you. You're the leader.
Yeah, along with like 6 assists, right?
But
6 or 7 assists.
Yeah, and Chandler's just putting up threes, scoring 2 points a game, not doing anything.
Staying injured.
Yes, staying injured for 2 seasons, collecting disability. Might as well be disability shit. He sure shit ain't playing. God, what a monumental fail of a deal that is. We're gonna be paying for that for a while.
And you guys don't have draft picks, right? No upcoming draft picks.
No, I think you do.
No, I mean like.
Because I'm pretty sure.
I mean like lottery picks.
Oh, you mean on our team?
Lottery picks, just lottery picks in general.
Wait,
do you guys have any picks in the lottery?
How do you even get a lottery pick? I don't even know.
I can't remember off the top of my head, but do you know if the Grizzlies have any picks in the lottery in the upcoming draft?
I don't think so. If the Suns did, then I think we would have. I think we would because I'm pretty sure we traded a first round pick and Troy Daniels. No, wait, we got a first round pick from the Suns this draft or next draft. I can't remember. I think it was a first round pick from the Suns for Troy Daniels or some shit like that.
Ah, okay.
So if the Suns had one, then that means we do. But I don't think we do. I don't even know how you even get a lottery pick. I thought a lottery pick was just like the worst teams, like the bottom like 6 or 7 teams or whatever, are put into a lottery and then like that.
Yeah, I thought that's how it works too, but I don't know exactly.
Give me 1 second. I'm gonna be right back because there is food downstairs.
Okay.
And I'm hungry. I'll be right back. Okay, I are back.
That was fast.
Yeah, I had to make it quick. There are people waiting on me.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Now, what about you and your team? Give me an update on Lakers land.
Okay, so I think they're on a 5 or 4 game winning streak, if I remember correctly.
Oh snap!
Yeah, and it's thanks obviously in part to Isaiah Thomas finally showing up.
Of course. Did Lonzo come back?
Yeah, Lonzo came back, and I think they had a game. I think it was last night. They played the Spurs, and they actually won. and it was because of Lonzo hitting 2
That's
clutch
awesome.
threes in the final like 2 minutes, and I was like, that made me happy. And then let's see, well, obviously you know of the trade that sent Clarkson and
LOL. The
yeah,
trade.
the Clarkson and Larry Nance deal to Cleveland. I was very sad about that because
I know. Right? Were you heartbroken?
I was heartbroken because like I was like, we get IT, but I was like, man, I really wanted to see Nance grow as a Laker because I think he would have been like awesome in case the Lakers got rid of Randall. Like I would have loved to see Nance in Randall's spot. I wanted to see how that
I'm
works.
surprised they didn't.
Yeah, I'm surprised too, but I guess I don't know. I guess they're trying to give Randall like more time to develop, even though he has a lot to work on. Like, and I mean a lot to work on, because the only thing he's good at is like rebounding and being athletic. But that's pretty much it. Like, he can't shoot.
Fair
He
enough.
can't shoot. He can't pass. Um,
I thought he could shoot.
barely. He's very he's he's very like iffy on shooting. But then again, he plays very physical, not very physical, but he plays a physical game not back to the basket, but like to the basket, near the basket. Doesn't like to stretch out very far.
Mm.
Like a very unpolished
It's like a very old school.
yeah,
game,
very
like Zebo.
yeah, yeah,
game.
except it's not as polished as Zach Randolph. That's honestly where I could see his ceiling would be, but it's gonna take a lot of work for him to get there. So I would have been okay with just Nance, just like being the pick and roll guy for Lonzo, and then catching passes, and then like running sets for other players, and not really facilitating his own offense. But
Right.
let's see. Yeah, that I was sad about that. Clarkson, obviously a good, solid guy off the bench, and they traded him to Cleveland, which is what they needed. I said this at the start of the season. The freaking Cavaliers need youth and younger players, and look what they got. They got plenty. They literally like destroyed the whole the flaws of the team, and just surrounded LeBron and company with young players that are ready to like show what they can do. For example,
What a ballsy move!
yeah, that was a very crazy move. Like, yeah, they got Clarkson, they got Nance, they got Rodney Hood, and man, Rodney Hood is what J.R. Smith should be right now. But that's another discussion. We all know J.R. Smith is gonna be J.R. Smith. Let's see. Am I missing somebody else that they got? Okay, wait. Okay, well, while I try to remember, they also gave up.
Well, those are the ones that.
Yeah, they gave up Derrick Rose too, and that sucks right now that he's not on a team, because I think he could fit on any team off the bench. I don't know why no team has picked him up yet, because he can still give you like 18 off the bench. I don't know why you won't take that.
I think it's the volatility.
I guess, but like you put him in the right situation, and he'll give you good numbers. I mean, for a little while he was doing good on the Cavs, even how dysfunctional they were. So like, that's a credit to his talent.
Oh yeah, he was.
But
I feel like a lot of people aren't picking up on the Cavs. Just to sidetrack for a second, I feel like a lot of people aren't picking up D Rose is because you don't want to worry about when are his knees gonna give out, when are his ankles gonna give, when is his body gonna give out.
yeah, that's true.
That's probably like I think like a big part of why he's not on a team. Because I do agree with you, he could fit like just about anywhere in the league, but there's just that in the back of your head, you're just like, man, this could all be over at any moment.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, and I just saw that they also picked up Jeff Green and George Hill at the deadline. Those were great moves, honestly. Like
Jeff Green, most overrated player in the
yeah,
NBA.
but for the Cavs situation, like that's a heaven sent compared to what they had before.
Yeah, I guess he works out for them.
But
anyway, back to what you were saying.
Let's see. So yeah, so the Lakers, yeah, sad about the trades, but I understand. And all those rumors about Alonzo and IT butting heads, that argument's put to rest because they're actually playing good together. So I'm happy about that. Hopefully they can keep this going throughout March and just like sneak into the 8th seed. Hopefully. But I doubt it, because of how competitive at this point in the season they are. And I mean, I'm looking at the standings right now, and they have a tough road ahead of them. It's not looking good. They have to play better than Denver, and Denver's doing pretty good actually. By my standards, they're doing good. They're 35-28, and the Lakers are 28-34. So that has to be. This has to go well. This has to go almost perfectly for them to make the 8th seed.
Yeah, there's only like 20 games left, so they need a couple win streaks here and there.
So, and other than that, they have to play better than the Clippers, who somehow are still doing good despite no Chris Paul, no Blake Griffin, and a bunch of like basically nobodies except for like Lou Williams. And I think Patrick Beverley's injured for the rest of the season too, if I remember correctly. So that's
damn.
Yeah, I don't know how they're doing it.
Doc Rivers, man.
Yeah, I really don't know how.
Working his rap.
Oh, and I'm looking at it. I see, like when you said the Grizzlies were like the worst team in the league, I didn't believe you, but then I see their record right now.
No, dude, no, I wasn't exactly.
Oh, and you weren't. They're actually last in the conference.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy. It's actually crazy. Like, you know your team is very bad when the Suns are doing better than you.
And we lost to the Suns 2 nights ago.
Further proves my point. The Kings. Well, I mean, the Kings have De'Aaron Fox and a bunch of young talent. That's good. But the Kings are doing better than the Grizzlies.
Vince Carter.
Yeah, and some veterans, you know. But the Kings are doing better. And just like, wow. Like, you can't even really call the Grizzlies the laughing stock of the league on either. They're just bad. They're just dysfunctional.
Oh my God, it's sad. I don't want to talk about it no more. Back to your Lakers.
I'm sorry.
I need something to take my mind off.
I'm sorry.
It was negative.
But yeah, let's see. Ingram is starting to show signs of what we thought he was gonna be. Not Kevin Durant status, but you know, like a good scorer. Let's see. Kuzma's been doing on and off, but you know, it's very, very like noticeable that he has what it takes to be a good player. Let's see, who else am I?
All right.
Let's see, Lonzo finally coming into his own, being more confident on the court. Who else am I missing? We need to get rid of Brook Lopez as soon as possible. Like,
really? Is he not producing?
I'm not saying he's not producing. It's just like we could do better than Brook Lopez.
I mean, but he's not bad though. Like you could, like honestly, I take Brook over like a lot of the centers in the league because let's face it, a lot of the centers in the league aren't good.
No, like he's been doing, I guess, acceptable enough. Like he's putting up like I think 12 points and like 4 rebounds and like okay
4 rebounds.
Okay shooting number. I think because Randall's getting the rebounds, that's why, or Lonzo too. I mean, but let's see. Caldwell Pope has been solid for the team, as I expected. The team, I think, no, not the team. The player that I really want them to get rid of, though, is Luol Deng, because he hasn't done anything. I think he's averaged like.
I forgot he was even on that.
Yeah, I think he's averaging like 2 points a game. For the amount of money he's getting paid. Like, he's like your Chandler Parsons. He's on, like, if I were to make a comparison.
Oh. He's just there.
He's just there for the check.
Making money. At least he can actually play though. Shit.
Yeah, but like other than that, like the team, it's like the potential for something is definitely there. I could see it. But they have a lot of work to do. I kind of want to see where the what the team's mindset is going into the not the playoffs, but like the free agency, like the off season, like what's their moves, like who are they gonna focus on, like are players gonna be fed more money, or are they gonna just do the whole Lakers shtick and just like follow where the biggest names are and just like try to sign them, even though I think that's not the best idea.
Right.
But if I were to give this season so far a grade in terms of just the Lakers, I think I'd give it like a B minus, because
That's way better than what I give my Grizzlies.
like I'm in terms of growth, because that's all I'm really looking for this season from the Lakers. Yeah, I give it a B, because like the players are starting to get more confident. They're learning how to play together. It's just unfortunate that they had to trade Nance and Clarkson, but I get it.
At the time that they're starting to finally melt.
Yeah, like they're showing, like, even in certain plays, like they're showing flashes of what the team could be when, like, you know, they're all like at their peak, and that's exciting. But that's like, you know, that's like reaching a lot of reaching and asking for a lot. But you know, that's just me being hopeful.
Wish I was getting that kind of spark from my team. But it's whatever.
Your team just needs more young players that the team is just willing to like nurture.
Yeah, but our fucking general manager doesn't know how to draft worth a goddamn. We need to fire Chris Wallace, who is our general manager, and get someone else in there. We need new ownership, sell the team, move the team. New ownership, does everything, overhaul that.
Yeah, I think
new logo, new team name, everything.
I think the Grizzlies just need that one GM that understands basketball, not just a business.
He doesn't understand shit, and oh my god. There have been rumors of a team coming to San Jose for like the longest time, and for a long time I've also heard the Grizzlies could be that team.
What?
Yep, that was like 4 or 5 years ago, or yeah, like 4 or 5 years ago.
Where would they play in San Jose?
At the SAP Center.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, that's crazy. California has too many teams already.
Yeah, although I feel like San Jose is the right town, because if they take to the Grizzlies like they've taken to the Sharks, man, they're gonna have a rabid ass fan base.
Yeah, it's gonna be great, but like at the same time, like that's crazy. I didn't know that. We'd have to go. We'd have to go to more Grizzlies games. I never thought I never thought that would come out of my mouth, but yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that hasn't been a thing for a while though. So.
Is there anything that I missed on the Lakers? No. No, I think that's it. Just the typical NBA formula of nurture the young players, get some veteran talent, and maybe if you can get a star, get one, but don't blow all your money on stars, because that usually never works out.
Right.
Is there anything else about the season that you wanted to discuss? Like,
who do you think is gonna be MVP?
Oh, it's Harden. If it's not Harden, I'm gonna be upset.
Okay, who do you like for it to be MVP? I want it to be. Oh, I mean, I know it's going to be Harden. I feel like, but who I want to be MVP is Giannis.
Oh yeah, he gets. I want Giannis to be MVP, but I'm pretty sure Harden is gonna be it, just based on story, numbers, and success. But like Giannis has been that man for a while now. But like I'm pretty sure the league has recognized him as an MVP candidate.
Yeah.
Let's see, how good are the Bucks doing right now? So the Bucks are
not terrible, but not great either.
Yeah, they're 7th seed. They're 33-29. So understand that, you know, like, he's not gonna win it based on that, and it's a very It's more of a like you could honestly make the argument that he should win MVP just because the Bucks are in the playoffs. But the Bucks are they're just not there yet. They're not convincing enough. It's not like Westbrook was last year, where he was just like literally carrying the team.
No, he was the man.
Yeah, it's not like that. Giannis actually has people on his team that are worth like relying on. I think Jabari Parker just came back too, so that's another thing.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
And yeah, Harden is probably gonna win the MVP. I can't see anyone else making a better argument than him. Oh, there's something I wanted to talk to you about. So, who do you think should win Rookie of the Year?
Probably Ben Simmons.
Okay, so because like there's this growing movement I've been seeing on the internet that Donovan Mitchell.
Behind Donovan Mitchell.
Yes, and that made me like, yeah, I'm happy for the guy, but like he just like man, like people forgot that there was
He isn't doing.
there was no, not that. It's just like there was a part in the season where Donovan Mitchell wasn't doing really that much compared to what Ben was doing, because Ben has been putting up numbers since the season started.
Yeah.
But people just like to forget because Donovan Mitchell dropped multiple 40-point games in like the span of like a couple weeks.
Yeah, and that catches people.
Yeah, just the point totals. But then there's this dude that's 6'10" or so, named Ben Simmons, is putting up LeBron James like numbers in his rookie season, and yet people don't like to acknowledge that. And plus, I think the Sixers are doing better in their conference than the Jazz are in theirs, if I'm sure. And they are without Markelle Fultz.
I don't exactly know.
Yeah, they're six.
Yeah, I can.
They're six.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, Ben Simmons, I think, easily would win Rookie of the Year. Even if Lonzo was playing this entire season, I still don't think he'd win it.
Like, why? What? It's okay. It's one stat compared to the others, and you could also, and his team is doing better. Like, I get that the West is tougher, but still, like, you have to take it all as a whole. You can't just nitpick everything.
Yeah, it can't just like, oh, he did this for a span of like 10 games or whatever. As season as a whole, then yeah, I think it's pretty easy. Ben Simmons is gonna win.
I'm pretty sure Ben's gonna win it, but it's just like that movement behind Donovan Mitchell being the Rookie of the Year over Ben Simmons. It's just it's just ludicrous.
Yeah, it's silly.
Like, oh man. Yeah, that got me. When I saw that, I was like, did you just start watching basketball in January?
And you know how I feel when people talk about Conor McGregor.
Oh, what about? Wait, what did they say about Conor McGregor?
A lot of people are calling him like the greatest fighter of all time and shit. And these are people that only watch UFC because of Conor McGregor, which means they've only been watching for the past like.
So the UFC equivalent of the Warriors are the greatest basketball team ever.
Yeah, the equivalent of like the ultimate casual fan that's only been watching for like the past like 2 or 3 years
Yeah,
because of like the biggest name.
I get it.
Oh, that shit fucking pisses me off, man.
I guess, but you know, people will just, those people aren't gonna go away. So.
No, yeah, I know. There's like no talking to them either.
Like, you really just can't convince those people that hey, there's other arguments out there, but you know.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Man, so for real quick before you move on.
Okay.
Man, I took a laxative before we started this.
Okay.
And oh boy, am I feeling the effects right now.
Should I be concerned?
No, you're fine. I've got a fucking headache. I can feel things churning in my intestines that don't feel very good.
Oh boy.
Oh man, yeah, things are happening in my body that I do not like.
Okay, so for those
Oh
listening,
boy.
Deandre for the past few days has not been feeling well bowel movement wise, and so today we went to Target so he could buy some laxatives, and what you're hearing right now is the after effects of him taking. How many did you take? Two?
I only took two, man.
Yeah, that's just to get whoever's at this point in the podcast up to speed on what's happening right now. And it's but what I'm hearing, it's not, it doesn't sound good.
Yeah, it's a very unpleasant experience. I do not ever recommend taking laxatives unless you absolutely need to, like in my case, because man, they seriously just fuck with your body. Oh God.
Can you continue?
No, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Continue.
Okay, so we are um we are an hour and a half in this, the first episode of whatever we're calling this, and I want to talk about one more topic before we're done.
Okay.
Since we're on the topic of sports, I want to talk about the recent but reoccurring issue of the NCAA not paying its players. What do you think on that?
Oh, this old argument.
Yeah, what do you think?
I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you the same thing I've thought for the past like 4 or 5 years on this argument. Pay the fucking players. The NCAA run a slavery ring. Um, it's corrupt as fuck. We all
Oh
know
yeah,
it. It's been going on for years. The players know it. The coaches know it. Everyone in sports journalism knows it. There's something needs to be done, and that's the end of that.
like paid beyond, paid scholarships and like.
No, 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 no. Yeah. I mean, if they get scholarships, because the thing is like a lot of those guys can't have jobs. Here's, it's a slippery slope. Because I'm not saying pay them, thousands of, maybe pay them like 1 or 2K or some shit, like something, because they're getting taken advantage of. When you think about it, like these schools and this organization are making millions of dollars off these guys' names, and they can't see a dime from it. Like, come on now.
That's true.
Like, give them something. I'm not asking you to pay them like a rookie contract, of an NBA player or whatever, but like, give them something, man. Give them, or shit. If you're gonna sell shit in their name or use their likeness on TV, give them a cut of something. Give them something is what I'm saying. Like, don't just, and by something I mean money is what I mean.
Of course. That seems
But
to
like,
be what the
God,
only problem is, right? It's just the money.
yeah. But yeah, no, what do you think?
I think they should be paid, but it's just like, I don't know the extra details about what the problem could be if they do get paid. Like, do they?
There really is no extra problem. It's really, for a lot of people, it's really just like
Oh,
a
it's
matter
it's
of,
it's
like,
black and white,
ethics
really?
and stuff. Like, yeah, it's really just like, oh, you're paying kids or whatever. But it's like, what separates these guys from a year in college to, a year later they're going to be in the NBA? They're still going to be a kid in the NBA as they were in college. Like,
Yeah, that's true.
you're just arguing semantics and splitting hairs. Like,
Okay, so if there's no extra details that I'm overlooking, then yeah, they definitely should get paid, because not everyone can be, like you said, not everyone could be an NBA player. So like, if they choose to go to the, especially for those that wanted to stay for all 4 years,
oh
like,
yeah.
they're dedicating their time just so you can make money on television, or for tickets for games too. And just like, just pay the kids, man. Like, what's really the problem?
And the kids that like And plus, it's like some of those kids don't get the full scholarships that the star college players do. They don't get the full ride. So, and a lot of them can't even have jobs because they have too much time commitment between school and practice and whatnot to even think about having a job. So those are the kids that are really getting hurt by it because they don't really have a choice.
Yeah, you have to be really fortunate to be able to survive in an environment like that, especially with how little money you're given.
And especially with a lot of those kids are going to like the big name schools. So like Bama and Georgia and Texas A&M and M and Kansas, Kentucky,
Forget about Duke.
Stanford, Duke, of
The
course.
the Patriots of NCAA.
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh man.
Coach K does some great work over there, from what I hear.
Yeah, I mean, if he's good enough to be the coach for Team USA, then he has to be a great coach.
Oh yeah, it's fucking insane. When I found that out, I was like, damn, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah, and all these players respect him too. It's like I don't think there's a
I mean,
single
with his
player that hates him.
pedigree, yeah.
But yeah, like the money situation, they just definitely should get paid. But like obviously don't throw them that NBA money because that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah,
The
of course. No,
pros
that's ludicrous, right? That's ludicrous, right
just
there.
pay them enough to where they can get by comfortably. I'm pretty sure the league has enough money to do that.
Yeah, the NCAA is not hurting for funds at all,
Yeah,
and they know
and
it.
especially with how much good ratings they generate from March Madness every year. 'Cause,
Oh, dude, and plus it's March now,
yeah, and it's March now, so it's perfect.
and the Final Four and all that stuff, man.
Do you think viewership for them
they're
is gonna
making so
drop
much money every year.
because of this scandal?
Hell no, man. People don't care.
Either like it's
Well, people say they care, but they'll still watch.
that too, or like they're not informed at all. you know?
Like a lot of people were boycotting the NFL this year because the whole like kneeling thing, but like the NFL still did fantastic numbers. It was like, come on now, guys, seriously.
Okay, well yeah, that's the last thing I kind of wanted to talk about today.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, the first episode of
Whatever this is,
this thing that we're doing.
it's a little not social experiment. That's kind of dumb. This little experiment that we're doing. This is the first episode.
Social experiment gone sexual, gone wrong.
Not clickbait.
But yeah, it's in the yeah, not clickbait, totally serious. Link in the description for giveaway.
Oh, we don't have any sponsors
really.
yet.
There's no.
I don't know.
But,
I don't know if we ever will, but this is still fun to do.
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed it. Hopefully, there are people that also enjoy this.
Okay, so like any closing statements before sign off?
I mean, not any closing statements that anybody else would want to hear from me. So
Okay, I guess. Okay. For me, let's see. If you haven't watched episode 129 of Dragon Ball Super, please do that. Or if you don't watch Dragon Ball Super, I highly encourage you. I know Deandre will highly encourage you to watch it.
Highly encourage.
Let's see. The NBA season, great season so far. I give it like a solid 7.5 out of 10 so far. And we'll see how it goes. And as for the WWE, I don't know what to rate it. What would you say about the WWE?
It's hit or miss, but it's very miss right now. I'd say only watch pay-per-views if you really want to.
Okay. And NCAA, just pay the players. Pretty simple. And on that, we're out.
We out this bitch. Bring y'all asses back. I want to see y'all lovely faces.
Oh God, just had to make it weird.
It's only weird if you make it weird, baby.
Oh my God.